Hi everyone, welcome to the Happy Hustle Show. Tonight I am talking to you about 3 things that you need to do now to make sure that you have your product-based side hustle ready for Christmas. So on the last Happy Hustle Show, I started to talk about Christmas. What I was pondering today is what are the lessons that I wish I had thought of before I had my first super busy Christmas. And I want to share things with you that you can be doing right now. Hi, Mariam. Lovely to see you. So 3 things that I want to share with you. And also, I want to say, even though it's September, for a product-based side hustle, you need to be gearing up for Christmas now. I have started to get Christmas sales in my Etsy shop. I haven't done anything with my Christmas listing, so this is a case of do what I say rather than what I do, because I've slightly taken my focus off my product-based business because I'm putting it into this happy side hustle. This is what's bringing me joy at the moment. But because I still have Christmas listings in my shop, they have just started to sell without me doing anything, which would indicate that there's a kind of surge in the market, because I haven't optimized them. I haven't done anything with them for a year, but they started to sell again. So yeah, this morning I was making quite a few Christmas decorations, people obviously planning far ahead. So it made me think we really need to be on the ball with our Christmas offerings if you've got a product-based side hustle, because people are starting to think of it. It tends to happen around now when schools go back in most countries, and people are kind of starting to think about the next big thing. And also, I know we're still in a kind of a strange time where we don't know exactly what Christmas might look like, but I think I think lots of people are hopeful that Christmas this year might be a little bit more celebratory than Christmas last year. So then that makes it a big deal and people want to make it really special. Therefore, they start their Christmas shopping early. So I talk about Christmas, I'm talking about Christmas decorations, but I'm also talking about Christmas presents. So anything that you make that could be Christmasized in any way would be great. So we talked on the last show about photos and making sure that your photos evoke that kind of Christmas. So even if you're not selling a particularly Christmassy thing, you can still evoke that kind of emotion for your thing to be purchased as a Christmas present. So you might sell egg cozies, egg cozies, like a tea cozy, but for eggs. And they might sell all year round, but actually at Christmas, if you have photos of them with sort of a Christmas hint to the background, then people start to think of them as a Christmas thing. So anyway, hi everybody, thank you for joining me. So 3 things that I want to suggest that you think about really over the next week, I would say definitely over the next few weeks. When we eke out to the end of September, beginning of October, we're starting to get into really silly season on Etsy. For those of you that sell on Etsy, just the customer levels go way, way up. So there are some things that you can do to prepare now. The first thing is, if you have a product-based side hustle that involves tools, any sorts of tools. So for me, that would be the stamps, the hand stamps that I use for personalizing jewelry. It would be my hammers. It would be my pliers. It would be, I'm looking over to my stamping table. It would be the stamping block that I use. So just thinking about everything that's the equipment that you need to make the thing that you make. Is there a way that you can service that now? Make sure it's all in working order, give it a really good clean, make sure everything is organized, like take out any kind of basically any bumps in the road that you would have for the making process to smooth things. So there are things that I use that need to be oiled regularly. Yeah, I'm not very good at remembering exactly when they're meant to be oiled, but I know now I start to go, okay, right, I need to make sure that these are all ready to go for Christmas. So the tumbler that I use to kind of polish my jewelry, I need to make sure that I have cleaned out all the stainless steel shot that's within that and made sure it's totally ready to go. So there's no, what you want to do is you want to lessen the chance of anything happening when you're in peak making time, anything going wrong, because that's what can be stressful. That's what can be stressful. So thinking about it in advance is great. Hoping I'll last live while I'm making tea. Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah, you can multitask. It's totally fit. You don't need to look at me. Just listen to what I'm saying, Sheila. Okay, so the first one is cleaning tools. The second one, and Julie Brecken's going to be happy with me for saying this, is get your accounts in order. So what you don't want to do, so it'll depend when your financial year ends, if you've got a limited company, or just how often you kind of update your accounts, whether it's weekly, monthly, quarterly. Even if it's quarterly, which is like the kind of least frequent that you should be doing it. You certainly shouldn't be leaving things just to the end of the year. Even if it's quarterly, there's going to be the end of a quarter before Christmas or around Christmas. You don't want to be taking your focus away from making and moving it across to having to update your accounts. So I would be doing that now, just in this sort of calm before the storm. So make sure that everything is up to date. For me, my financial years come to an end at the end of September. So that's something that I absolutely need to do. But well, yeah, I need to do it because I always do it immediately. I hate owing any tax. I just want to pay it right away. But for you, even if there's not that massive incentive, I would say make sure that you've got everything up to date so that it's not at the back of your mind and everything's kind of clear before the calm before the storm. And then the third one is around your stock and your packaging. So it depends where your suppliers are and where you get things. So I'm not suggesting that you do a massive bulk order of something that you're not sure that will sell. However, if you tend to order things from China or America, and you're not sure how many you'll need of whatever it is, I would be looking for UK-based suppliers as well. So I'd be making sure that you haven't got all your eggs in one basket here. So for example, some of the stock I use from my jewelry comes in from China, but I also have a UK source of nearly everything. There's one thing I can't find in the UK, but nearly everything I have a UK source as well, so that, you know, if it comes to the end of November and I'm starting to run out, I know I'm not going to have enough time to get those delivered in time for Christmas. So it's likely to be more expensive to buy UK wise, but I know that I can still do that. And if the margins work, then I will do that. So think about stock and be aware that stock is like, this is the time of year that everybody starts to buy stock, usually around October. So you've got a bit of a head start if you're thinking about it here. Stock can run out in the suppliers as well. If you've not experienced that before, people can really be kind of fighting over the last things, particularly for Christmas related makes. So start to think about what stock would you need to get in now, and what would your contingency plan be if something took off really, really well? Would you be able to get the materials and the supplies to create that? And how could you do that if it is something that comes in from abroad? And then the final thing, so this is still part 3, which is about supplies, is packaging. I have run out of packaging 2 years in a row, actually. Did not learn the lesson. Thought, well, it'll be really easy to just get more. And this, I'm not even talking about my gift boxes. I'm talking about the envelopes that I use to send out my things. And although I was able to find them, I wasn't able to find anybody that was supplying them quickly. So here's the thing: be more organized than me. Have a bit of a Kanban system. Like, notice when you're getting to your last 10 envelopes or however you send things out. I had to do a drive around Edinburgh one day, just going into all the office supply shops, trying to find envelopes so I could fulfill the orders that were already outstanding in my Amazon and my Etsy accounts. And if I hadn't got the envelopes that day, I would have gone over the kind of promised delivery time, which isn't great on either platform, but particularly bad on Amazon. So things that are really easy to get hold of now, I just want you to start thinking about, okay, what if there was suddenly a big demand for those? What would I do? What can I stock up in advance? So if things are relatively low priced, I would suggest stocking up on things like your packaging materials. But if not, again, just be careful of your cash flow I would be making a plan as to where you can get them. So a bit of a spring clean or autumn clean of your tools, your supplies, your area, like make sure everything is organized so your systems can be as slick and as it can be as easy for you as possible. So for example, earlier today, I was on a coaching call, but it was a group coaching call. So for a lot of the time I was just kind of listening in. And while I was doing that, looking here, my hands below the table, were putting split rings onto heart charms that I know I need to make a batch of because I know they're going to sell kind of in the run up to Christmas. So think about how can you multitask? What could you do to make your process even easier? So there's some things that you can kind of pre-prepare in advance of the rush that's going to come. So that's the first one. The second one is get your accounts up to date. Don't be, and that will also help you to understand what cash flow you have to buy in supplies and really make sure that you've got them in place for your enhanced Christmas sales. And the third one is check your stock, check your packaging levels, and just make sure that you've got a plan there so that you can provide, because there's nothing as frustrating. There was one year where I had so many orders, I just had to turn my Etsy shop off. And because I just didn't have the supplies from it, I wasn't able to get them in time. And I just looked at it and I thought, all that money is just sitting on the table. On Etsy, well, basically the algorithm for everything, but for Etsy in particular, because I know most of you are on that if you've got a product-based business, the algorithm, as soon as something starts to sell, it gets shown to more people, and it very, very quickly kind of goes viral. So I had, and it certainly, well, it's unlikely to happen to all of the things you sell, but it can easily happen to one or two. And I had one that was just going and going and going. And then I ran out of supplies for it, and I looked everywhere, and it was just absolutely gutting because I was calculating up in my head how much profit I would have made had I been able to get more supplies or just have another week load of supplies. So those are my lessons. I don't want that to happen to you. So have an autumn clean as opposed to a spring clean of your desk, your tools, your supplies, so that you're ready to go. Do your accounts and get your packaging and supplies, all your components sorted, and a contingency plan. So of course, this will only happen, your shop will only explode if people know about it and you're driving traffic to it and you're doing the marketing piece. If you are unsure how to get people to your Etsy shop and how to get people to know about your side hustle, I know a lot of you already know, but I am running a coaching week next week. It's called Explode Your Side Hustle Sales. I know some of you have done it before. It's not the same. I'm going to do completely different content. And this time I'm going to talk about Facebook, how to set up your Facebook, how to set up a Facebook group, Facebook shop, how all of those things together can bring super fans into your business and get you really kind of set up in advance for a massive Christmas sale with people that love your side hustle. So if you would like to know how to do that and you haven't already, the link is beside this video. It's hpy.tips/explode. And please share it with any of your side hustle interested friends. I would love to have as many people as possible next week. And I'll be back here on Thursday, but I will hopefully get to spend the week with you next week. So you haven't already signed up, please do that now. Okay, take care. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Bye.